Good afternoon, warm welcome everyone. I hope the sound is clear. You can hear well. Excellent. I'd like to share a simple cartoon. The lady comes to the opticians. She says, "I'm returning these glasses I bought for my husband. He's still not seeing things my way." So yesterday we looked at transformation, and of course it is easy to want to transform others and the world. And we had this beautiful analogy of the butterfly and the transformation in nature, which is so natural, and that we are also similarly designed. And the subject of Gyan Yagya. And I thought it was interesting. We understand this is knowledge, really just reminding us we are trustees and we can't actually own anything. And the attitude we can have, it's like a gift from God for a mission. And the question, reflective question from yesterday, is there anything that needs dissolving? And if knowledge has worked, then the bones will dissolve in the yagya. If not, we need more knowledge. I thought this was interesting, and looking forward to today's session. And at the end, we'll be sharing details about the next advanced retreat. So warm welcome, looking forward to hearing from you, and handing over now to Prashant.
Thank you. And hello, and good afternoon from here, and maybe good morning and good evening to you, different parts. Yes, it is nicely summarized. Our subject for this weekend is the transformation. And we have been saying that everyone in the world wants transformation and in self-transformation. They also want the husband to see their way. That transformation is also going on, attempt. But people also know they need to change. And authentic change, is what we are looking for. Many cultures have got a system of pretending to be nice and pretending to be good. And it serves the purpose. You can fake, and some even say fake it until you make it. But that is not our slogan. If someone goes in that direction, trying to pretend and trying to fake, then he becomes better at it. He becomes clever at faking. And this, underneath, we continue to go in the wrong direction. That's why it is sensible, wiser, just to step back and look deeper, see what is happening, underneath, and work at that level rather than just superficial. We have seen the method, and as we saw on various occasions, that the root is at the level of the ego. And we said yesterday, all what we do not like in others, and when we say do not like, sometimes there are little small behaviors, or there are little anxieties, little comparisons, competitions, a whole lot, something that we consider not very noble. Sarcasm and varieties. These are all Ravan's virtues, Ravan's cleverness. And when one goes in that direction, there is a department of sorrow. You say someone gets angry, He gives sorrow to others, but he's experiencing it in himself. So everyone is a loser. He experiences more than others, maybe. So the change we are looking for is auspicious. If you are going in that direction, if the mind is auspicious, under provocation, you are having contentment. Regardless of what everyone does, you are happy. That is something we want to catch hold of, appreciate. So it's a few factors that oppose this transformation. And one big factor is Madame Maya. Madame Maya will have clever arguments why you should not change. And it can also tell, it is not happening, so drop it, throw it all away, this kind of thing. Because of that, we need to have a program beforehand. And what is our program? Every minute you are doing something right. I'm talking here, spiritually. You are creating a new habit just for 1 minute. Congratulate yourself for that. Maya will say, see, you are getting annoyed, you are experiencing anger, you are not changing. Earlier, maybe I used to get angry every 3 days. And now I'm getting angry every 3 months. So there is a change. But Maya will say, see, you got angry this morning. So, drop the whole thing. Maya will try. So for you, 1 minute, you are coming in that highest space, consciousness. You are accurately so conscious. Very good. Congratulate yourself. You are going in that upward spiral. You may not stay with 1 minute, but more you are appreciating what is already happening. That creates enthusiasm. So our journey, the spiritual journey, should be backed by the energy of play. You are playing with these ideas. Play, fun, congratulations, celebration, enthusiasm. Use this not as a discipline, not as a struggle, labor, but fun, energy of fun. Then it can be sustained. And you will find you want to do it next day because that process is also enjoyable. Each time you practice, you say you create 2 minutes to practice. At the end of 2 minutes, there are always some experiences. Even if there was distraction, noise, there is always an experience. Acknowledge it. It may be something very simple, but acknowledge. Don't say there was noise and I did not do what I was planning to do. See what you managed to do. Maybe you were able to experience tolerance, maybe for 5 seconds, and not acknowledge it. And this is something that opposes Maya. Otherwise, Maya tends to focus on the negative. And then at the end of the day, there's a bigger account of negative, what you did not do, rather than what you achieved. Are you okay with this? So we are going to create a few minutes of attention now. And very lucky to have this option of Paras. Everyone on this planet, every human soul have got a paras intellect. We all got patthar also. It is our choice what we use. And more we use paras, it will only become stronger. It is an extraordinary gift because in 1 second, game changes. What happens with paras? You are able to see the alokik, the dimension beyond the gross, in an obvious way. For paras, it is not even meditation. It is just normal. Just like for a bird, sky is not a meditation, it is its life. It lives there. So also to see this alokik is natural when we use paras. And physical is like material for the drama. The entire physical is like the temporary paraphernalia required for the theater, including body and everything around the body. But that is nice drama. We know beforehand it is temporary. And it has got some story and entertainment. With paras, we can see the true self. He is that invisible traveler. And he is the invisible guest. He is also the invisible prince. He belongs to the King of Kings. He is the invisible observer of this theater. He is also the actor of this, in this drama. Invisible actor. He is never the role. Invisible traveler has got his world beyond. He knows he's very lucky. He has got this world of immortality. He is himself immortal. And he lacks nothing, needs nothing. He is never a victim, ever. Many things may happen anywhere. Never a victim, even the slightest. Beyond harm. So he can afford to be happy forever. Carefree forever. He can also afford to be loving. There is no reason why I should experience anything else. Especially he understands everyone is like this. Everyone is good. Eternal nature of everyone. They are souls. They are also angelic souls. They are also immortal and noble. We are seeing this beautiful truth of everyone. They truly don't need anything. And if anyone doesn't need anything, no desires, they become free from disappointments. Such is their standard. Everyone is noble. Childlike. harmless, beyond harm, innocent. Their nature is love and happiness. They are made of love and happiness. So we feel this silent bond with everyone, all souls. We also understand they all are associated with things in the drama. They may be conscious, they may not be conscious of their truth, but all are holy. And holiness soon shall refashion their lives. We see no sinners. And this attitude, just this understanding, becomes a very necessary help. Without even any language, just this attitude, becomes a help for others to come out of this bondage and darkness. Spell of Maya. So self-transformation, it doesn't end there. Self-transformation automatically, whether you like it or not, leads to the bigger transformation. It starts the process. And it leads to upliftment. Thank you. Yes, feel free to ask, say anything, type your comments. We will be quickly revising some areas we touched yesterday to start with. And I will use the board. One big aspect of our yesterday's discussion, before larva moves to the pupa, larva is the one that wants to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So there is definitely time for larva. And larva changes to pupa, we saw. And this change involves dissolving of the larva. Then you get a butterfly, but step is dissolve. Ordinarily, no one wants to dissolve. We took example of some saints, and they think differently, and it puzzles everybody else around it. And everyone wants more, more, more. For me, I want more. And there are these people who think of others first, and happily, they are not. They, in their own way, are dissolving something. And we said, are they losers? In the eyes of the larva will say you are a loser. But when we see, in a Paras perspective, when we see the bigger map, when we see with the broader vision, we realize that one is working for butterfly. He is just sensible, sees things at another level. It's like if you want to have a table, you have to cut wood, it's a bit like that. So if you got a very clear vision of the butterfly, then this has to dissolve, and then you have to go through that process. So it is a game of the intellect. In our case, this becomes very easy once we see clearly. So knowledge, not just more information, but knowledge, yoga, they all go together. We need to revise, and experience. Like in the last 5 minutes, we saw Paras perspective. Sometimes people say they are flying, they are experiencing this, and then the retreat finishes or their course finishes, they go back into the world and job, and as if it is all forgotten completely, get drawn into the ordinariness. And this can happen to anyone, because that is Maya's job. Maya's job is to put a full stop. Maya has got his powers to merge, finish. That's yesterday. Now let us do something else. We need to create our own program, and we have to be clever in this, to do the program of revision, reminders. Some simple things. Speaking to someone, that can be one nice way. Revising yourself is definitely good, and practicing very good. But if you are doing along with another person, then the benefit is multiplied somehow. Then the dynamics changes. So you all have to think how that can be done. Everyone wins. And we are seeing very important for us, these reminders, because our big challenge, whether you like it or not, is this box. Ravan and Maya, their field of action is this box. And we need to revisit, understand this. And just being reminded of this bigger map. Look at a sketch like this often. Even though we have seen it, always good to see, understand the wonder of this new beginning, new start. When we are speaking of this invisible traveler, he is not extension of Prashant. Prashant is part of the story. And Prashant episode is going to finish, and nothing is lost. That whole drama also is going to finish. And nothing comes to a halt. The reality of the invisible traveler is independent, separate. So it is like a clean start. Each time you are creating time, understand this is fresh. It is not, we are not trying to divinize Prashant, but we are waking up. The soul is waking up. Soul is already divine. Understand the difference. Any thoughts? Any comments?
So there is a question. In the larva, how does the ecdysone and juvenile hormone work together? What decides which hormone will prevail?
At in the butterfly level, yes, sure. what really happens in that process. We remember even in larva, if this is larva, even at larva level, there are these imaginal discs. And at some point, these imaginal discs, they are activating the production of actizone. So the level of actizone rises. And as the level of actizone goes beyond the level of juvenile hormone, the game changes. These are the things we see at a gross level, chemical level, but at a deeper level, the change is happening. And at the time for the imaginal cells to get activated.
So is that just a matter of time? Is it like as if pre-programmed in the egg stage? That's a question.
Yeah, we obviously do not know. All that we can measure is the time. But with the butterfly and larva, this is an example. We use it more to understand our phenomena, and see the parallel and see how we can bring about the transformation within us. And in our case, we know that we can actively, we got intellect and we can understand things and we can promote more the right kind of enzyme that we need. So there are certain factors in our hand here.
Nice, thank you. So there aren't any other questions at this stage?
Sure. Let us create one more minute of silence. And then I was going to read some words from the Murli, and something that we started on the first day, the subject of karma.
Just wondering if you will need the screen.
No. Or maybe I might need it at some point. You can adjust, you can make it small on your device if you like.
Sure, not every device is possible, but sure.
So during these minutes, aware that the invisible soul is aware of the story on one side and lots happening in the story. He knows it in the story. But he also is aware of his sky. And in the sky, he's observing that the true self, he put him to image of a invisible presence that is normal. His immortality is normal. To belong to that sky is normal. To belong to that family of souls, that is normal. Not to need anything from the story, that is normal. invisible soul. He understands he is very lucky to have his life with God and the company of God. He knows his world is complete. That's why he lacks nothing, he misses nothing. Complete and full. His perspective, everything appears perfect. He got a perfect home, perfect family, perfect father, and perfect drama. He sees perfection all around. His region is region of love. Everyone is lovely and everyone is worthy of love. He is not begging for love, but enough that this is a loving atmosphere. It's a region that is secure and beyond harm. The atmosphere is of silent celebration, eternal celebration, and silent celebration. His yoga is with success because he knows the end result. He knows the truth. Truth is good, and everyone will come to this beautiful truth. So he knows the end score. So silently aware of the guaranteed victory. And whether he is in the sky or on earth, this truth continues. This reality remains the same. This attitude from him that is influencing the world all around, because he sees things with perfection and harmony at a deep level, a convinced level. His yoga is with success and immortality and fullness, perfection. Physical world is a reflection of what is happening in the mind. What is happening at a subtle level, the physical world is a reflection. So just silently working at this subtle level, he promotes huge transformation, which is like contributes to the transformation at other levels. Thank you. So I am coming to this Murli on Karmatit, and we mentioned the relationships. There is a difference between relationship and a bondage. Even our relationships with human beings, where relationships have taken on the form of a bondage, those bondages continue to cause distress in one way or another. Anyone want to tell how do we change a relationship into bondage? What is the one word answer to this? So where relationships have taken on the form of a bondage, those bondages cause distress. So how did they change into bondage?
Many answers are expectations and attachment, ignorance.
Yes, the important word, all answers are right, but the important word is expectation. So there are people coming in contact with you in different ways. Check if there is any expectation. Anyone, any expectations with people around you, family, neighbors, people at work? So if there are expectations, then there are bondages. This is bondage. Just taking a job is not a bondage, but creating an expectation creates a bondage. So anyone has got any bondages? Any expectations?
Yes, and one comment, particularly family.
Yes. You might notice place where you have done more favors, this is worth checking. If you have done some favors on someone, and you feel justified to create expectation from the person where you created more favors. You feel I did 100 favors here, so you should at least not rob, at least leave aside. Doing any favor, don't rob. But that is where you get caught. Don't create any expectation, and for any reason. The moment you create expectation, you get into the trap. No one asked you to do favors. If you have done favors, okay, then go home. So here is a gathering where you end up doing some good actions, charitable actions. You are doing favors, in other words. But you have to be extra careful. Because of that, don't create expectation that other person will be grateful for your amazing karma. You underline this. Because once you create a bondage, you become slave, and you are then behaving. Your reactions will be like a slave. So those bondages continue to cause distress in one way or another. It will make them experience waves of sorrow. Although having all temporary attainments, they would experience the happiness of those attainments only temporarily. So it is like a slave kind of life. They will be upset with themselves or with others due to one thing or another. Bondage, bondage. To be upset, naraz, means that they have not understood the significance. So they have not understood the raz. Those who are karmatit, will never get upset. Karmatit means one who is free from any bondage of his account of past. One who is karmatit doesn't create a bondage to the fruit of his action. So this is a big subject, fruit of the action. How do you understand this? Let me give an example. You are performing your karma, you are cooking food and you are preparing it for your guests. And there are 20 guests who are going to come and you have prepared food for them. And the last moment, someone drops your food and it is on the floor and there is no food for your guests. Have you got a method not to be disturbed? So if your karmatit is the stage where you don't get disturbed by any situation, you don't get upset. Anything can happen anywhere, you don't get upset. That you're not a slave. Someone can say something, you're not a slave, you're not getting. Someone can break something. So here you spend 2 hours preparing something, and last minute it is dropped, and all the guests are there, they are hungry, and they all are looking at you. And you are looking at them. Do you think you will be completely peaceful, content, not blaming you, not blaming others, not feeling guilty, solve things from that peace? Is it possible, or will you get a little bit of? The person who dropped it may have done it intentional. Let us take this scenario. It is intentionally dropped. So will you be affected? You can type your possible observation.
One comment, that's only a film. He will have to pay for his karma sometimes. And there's a question as well. So those who are new to this knowledge expect people who are in this knowledge not to get upset. Can you clarify the meaning of karmatit so they don't get mixed up?
Yeah, sure. We'll come to that. But at this stage, will you be upset? That's the question.
There was yes, order pizza.
Yes, that is good. Order is good. But at the immediate level, will you be getting into the mind of blame and guilt or disappointment? Will it go in that direction?
Very much.
Yes. Now let us take, so we need some philosophy to deal with this. Superficially, we cannot do. This method is not just a commandments, 10 commandments, you sort of have to put this into practice. No, we need to know how it is possible at all. This is one example. There can be many situations that come. You work so hard and you don't get the result, and the opposite can happen. And how do you react at that time? And normally we will react with disappointment of some kind. Then it is not karmatit. So the message, spiritual message, the broader message in praise, defamation, success, defeat, and respect, disrespect, in every possible situation, you remain with self-respect and you remain in peace. You remain the same, regardless of what happens in this, your world of karma. So we need some philosophy and some homework has to be done. Superficially, we cannot do this karmatit as a commandment. 11th commandment, be karmatit. That is not the method. So let us take a scenario, another scenario. You are acting in a film. You are getting paid for your action. The film company has come and you are given a job, and you work in the kitchen, you are preparing food, and it is all getting filmed. And you are getting paid for every hour you are there. So you are quite happy doing your job. That is all. You are sort of moving around, doing things, and it is all getting filmed, and you are getting paid by the film company. And someone else is given a job, she has to drop all the food that you prepared. In this case, the other person is James Bond. He comes, he throws your all that you prepared on the floor, kicks with his left foot, jumps out the window, gets into the helicopter, goes to Casino Royale. So that was his part. He's getting paid for his action. That is also filmed. Will you be upset that James Bond spoiled your all preparation? You will not. Because what was the difference? Just your understanding is different. You have understood the Raz. You have understood this is a film, and this is not your world, and whether it is spoiled, kicked, it is for the director and producer to decide. You don't worry about this. You are happy. You go home and you don't have one thought. Why did he spoil my cooking? You don't think this way. Not one thought. You go very happy that you did a good action, and the other person also did very good action. You will think, you will even tell him that your action was very good. James Bond, when you meet him, you will tell it was nicely done, good action. We all did good job, so we can move on now for next scene. Now, here, we are trying to understand it. It needs time to even digest it. The knowledge is that what we are seeing here, we call it a story, we call it a theater, we say it is a drama, it is also a film. It's the same. It means it's a story, it has got a script, and no different to James Bond. It has got jokers, and it's got villains, and it has got holy men and variety of characters. We need the glasses, we need the mindset to understand this is not made for my comfort. This is not my reality. To create any expectation, just like if you are watching a film, you don't create any expectation on the screen. It can be Mickey Mouse cartoon. You don't create expectations, you just watch it. In the same way here, you will have to develop this new thinking, new Raz, that we are watching a film, and everything that happened in the past, that was the script. And they all did good action. That is the way the director, producer, and nothing matters. Because you, the invisible observer, those who are watching this film, they are the souls, invisible souls. Prashant is also a character in this drama. In this case, the food is spoiled. But in another time, maybe Prashant is shot also. That can be another plot of the drama. But that is also drama. There is no bar. When it is a drama, karmatic stage, he doesn't say only this should never happen. That language is not there. It is a film. Nothing matters because his world is beyond harm. Remember some of those words that we use. His world is perfect, complete, full, beautiful. It is eternal. There is success. It is a world of love, world of celebration. Now we are talking about world with God. All of this remains unchanged. That is your world. You got right there. In this film, we don't have any right. In confusion, we have created such bondage in the film. It is as if we go to watch the James Bond film and create bondage and complain, and as if it matters. Here we are changing it, understanding at least what the change is. Change will be to know first the Raz. The souls are watching a film, watching a story. You want to add anything, say anything?
Some questions came up, and just a bit earlier when you were first bringing this subject, if you're teaching or explaining this understanding to someone, you would expect them to follow it. So is expecting this also bad?
Yes.
You clarified it as well, but
yes. It is like to plan is one thing, but then prepare for the unexpected. So this applies to every situation, because drama will be variety, and see what happens next. You may have to explain again. Because you are teaching someone to be free from dependency, that doesn't justify you becoming dependent. You are freeing them from bondage. So, if you are helping others to be free, you shouldn't be going into new bondage. And if you do create a bondage, it is good to observe soon. Observe and come out of it. Once you observe, it becomes easy to come out.
yeah, another question, expecting people to be good, is it wrong? You answered that in a sense, unless you have any comments.
Yes, we deep inside we know everyone is good. Beyond the drama, as we said, we know their eternal truth, and we also know they will all reach there. And at the immediate level, whether they will be good today, tomorrow, what will be the behavior? No, I don't create any expectation. The drama has a script. To remain free from bondage, this is the absolute priority. Not to remain free means become a slave. And Once someone has become a slave, subservient, he cannot achieve anything. Because there was immediately the masters, they decide. He cannot say, I'm going to remain peaceful next minute. No, the masters will decide whether he is peaceful or not. So the spiritual journey, first step is become free. Become free from the slave mind. Karmatit has got that element. You need to come out of the bondage. Subtle, gross, the whole lot.
If someone who is karmati witnesses suffering in hands of another, what would be the correct action?
Suffering of someone else. Is that what you think?
Yeah, I think it maybe means someone else is causing harm.
Yeah, good. Yeah, agreed. And if you are watching a film, any film you are watching, on the screen there is a war in a film. They are bombing and they are destroying and screaming. That is all going on the screen. You understand what is going on, but you also know that's a film, and the real world is beyond. They all are safe. Here it is literally like this. We are watching a three-dimensional film here, and it is so different. Right in front of you, there is a bloodshed, and that internally we need to bring in this thinking that everyone is safe to start with. Everyone is immortal. Not only safe, they are immortal. They all are. They are loved by God, and they are noble. And drama has got a script, and starting position is this. And having got this attitude right, you still act. Whatever our instinct is, still we will be acting in some form. Even to stand there is an action, but you will be acting. But this action has got an element of control. Your action will be coming from that higher space. To take sorrow, to be frightened, that actually reduces your ability to do good action. We said yesterday, a surgeon who is having attachments, his relations, friends, then he is prevented from operating on these people. He got skills, but he is not useful, because when there is attachment and he gets into the emotion, then he is not able to do the job properly. That little freedom that makes him more efficient. So here, this understanding first makes you stable. You are able to think clearly, you are able to feel stable, and then you can intervene in a very effective way.
Yes, it's very clear. Thank you.
Like right now, we know this is a film. We are talking about this is a film, this is a story. Still, we are acting. We all are acting, even though we are talking about it. Same happens. You know the film, but still action happens. But you give yourself a chance to act from a higher space.
What if our own role is the one we're having expectations on? And is it possible to have expectations from our own bodies as well?
Yes, and all the expectations are wrong. We all plan. To plan is one thing, and to create expectation is different. It is like, say, a boss of a company. He may be planning what they are going to achieve next day and next year. He's making the plan. And from that plan, he's discussing with the colleagues and staff, and they got a very clear action plan. That is good to plan and act from that. That is his job. But having done that, he should be prepared for the unexpected. Tomorrow, what will be the results? Let us see. Because there are many factors. What will happen tomorrow? And when you are prepared for the unexpected, then you are not slave. You got plan B ready. You are able to think in a different way. If you got into expectation, you suddenly feel you are deceived. You are trapped, and there is disappointment that will come.
Yes, thank you. You mentioned that the soul becomes conscious and not the character. Not sure if you recall that part. And is it possible for you to clarify that a bit more?
Yeah. Let's say the different examples we have used. If Mary is acting in the role of the camel, and in time, Mary starts thinking she's camel. In a children's drama, she's acting as a camel. And in time, she thinks she's the camel, and she has forgotten that there is Mary there. Then Mary becomes conscious. To our intervention is to help Mary wake up and discover that there is Mary there, and she's different to camel. That is success, and then she can enjoy the drama properly. Here we have become unconscious. The invisible souls, who are the invisible actors, they are gone into this camel drama, and they have become unconscious in a ridiculous way. They are trying to make the camel spiritual camel, a bit holy, more holy camel. So our aim is to tell, no, camel is okay, but you become conscious and discover that you exist behind this camel, and you are completely independent of the camel. And all these analogies just to help us grapple this twist. There is a twist in this, our situation. That's why these examples are useful.
Absolutely. Just a quick request. Could you clarify once again what it means not to be a slave?
Slave? Sure. Slave means there is a master. A slave hasn't got a choice. Someone else decides what he should do, what he should feel. Someone else can make me happy. Someone else can make me unhappy. Then it is slave. One who is in the slave relationship, master can give him chocolates, then he's happy. But master can also not give chocolates, not give food. It all depends on the master. So in our world, these invisible souls coming in this drama, have we created masters? That something comes and then I'm happy. Something goes, I'm unhappy. Then I've created master. Someone gives me, some nice, you're so good, then I'm happy. And someone is in a bad mood, then I also get in a bad mood. Then it is a slave relationship. They are masters. And we said no one can choose to be a master, but we create masters by we creating expectations. And we are also emphasizing in the process of self-transformation we need to definitely, first step will be to remove the slave mentality. Slave is the lowest denomination in any society, and then you press one button, he starts singing. You press another button, he's unhappy, different song comes. Then it is not a master, then it is slave.
Yes, thank you for clarifying again. Helpful. A question here. Can someone manipulate us and make slaves of us because we are trusting them?
Anyone can manipulate, but no one can make me a slave. It is me allows. It is my choice to be the slave or not. I trust. It is my choice whether I trust or not. James Bond can promise many things, but whether I trust James Bond, that is my choice. So that's why the big statement where we should write down and remind ourselves, be prepared for the unexpected. Someone who is trustworthy 100 times, but you have to be prepared for the unexpected tomorrow. I don't say don't trust and all. That is what our life is based on, something like this. But internally be prepared for the unexpected. At a deeper level, you know that anything is possible here in this world. And you don't get disturbed. That is the point.
I think you've answered another question that came up there. How should we behave not to create bondages and maybe be prepared for the unexpected? Maybe one answer. Did you want to add anything?
Yeah, it is the same.
Yes. Do all souls become conscious just by returning back? Then they start again in the cycle. And similar kind of question, how do souls eventually become saved if drama repeats endlessly?
And the first question, just returning home, we can't just return home unless we become free from the bondage. So we either remove the bondage through knowledge or through pain. We remove them ourselves, or the pain comes and does the job for us. So it is other way around. And then we are free to return home. And what is the second question?
How do all souls eventually become saved? And the question, how do all souls become saved if drama repeats endlessly?
And the truth is, all of us, anyone who is immortal will not just come once. If we come once, there is a real possibility coming second time, and the same thing happens here. At present time, there is need of coming out of this bondage. It is a bit like, right now you may be hungry, you want to have your meal. You don't say, what about tomorrow? Will I have to eat again tomorrow? So right now there is need of the meal. So we have to deal with it now, and let us deal with tomorrow at that time.
Yes, thank you. Very good. Question here, if I understood it, I'll just read it out. What is the difference in the part, whether I play the part consciously as a guest or unconsciously thinking I am the role? Is it predetermined?
When we are watching a film in any theater, that film is predetermined. What you are watching on the screen is predetermined. What is going on in your head, whether you think you are James Bond, whether you think that is mine, or you create attachments, you get angry, you cry, based because that is not part of the film. These are different. That is happening in the audience. And that's why we have the option to all knowledge is directed to the audience, on the souls, the attitude of the souls. At this stage, we see it as we have a free choice at this level. Whether it happens exactly the way it happened last time, we don't know. But at the moment, we have the free choice on the attitude of the audience.
Yes, thank you. Helpful. How are the actors chosen? How are the parts determined in this play?
It is as if subconsciously we are party to it. We have accepted this part. No one gets a part without his consent. In any drama, any film, actor doesn't just get forced to act some part. There is first his consent taken, then he can play the part. And sometimes actors refuse the role if no one can force them. So here we have taken this drama, taken this part. We have signed the contract at some point. Just that now we have forgotten. But in the details, we mentioned yesterday, it's a drama. When we are soul conscious, we enjoy the bigger plot and the bigger drama. Just my part, why it is that is not an issue. For an ego, that becomes a big issue because he's got into just me. He cannot see the bigger orchestra, just me and my drums, and I have to beat the drums the loudest. That is the way ego sees. But when we step back, we enjoy the whole orchestra.
Nice, thank you. We're coming close to a time where it might be good to have breakout rooms. There are a couple of other questions, but we can come back to them maybe. That works.
Sure.
And what would, I think this analogy of the James Bond, and you produce the food, and how do you feel? And how do you feel if it was scripted in a James Bond film? Is very helpful to hold on to. But would you like to suggest a topic for the room discussion?
Sure. And very important for us is to see if there are any bondages. This is the big area for us to see the bondage and see how we can change it into a relationship. In this larger world, in a bondages will present. I'm just expanding a little bit. And so question is just this, bondage and relationship. But if when there is a bondage, it will create, if not big disappointment or big sorrow, at least questions, complaints, and concerns. Just questions. Why someone, why he said this, why should, just questions. Why, who, how. Questions, complaints, and concerns. If we are free from bondage, then it is celebration.
Okay, so it's a discussion around bondage versus relationship. Is that right? Okay. So we'll come back to a couple of the questions that were asked in the last few minutes after the break. And just a reminder that it's nice if everyone has a chance to share. And if you're happy to come into camera during the rooms, if you'd like to participate. And we'll see you in around 10 or 15 minutes. Warm welcome back. I hope you could hear well. It's so nice to have this discussion. Let's create a minute or so of some silence to reflect. So thank you, and it'd be lovely to hear from you what was important from your room discussion. Maybe you have a question. And meanwhile, I would like to give a very warm welcome to Ioana, who's joining us from Cambridge, originally from Romania. So very warm welcome.
Would you like me to share what was discussed in the room, or this is separate?
So it'd be nice to hear from you what was important for you from the topic, if you'd like to share that, or if you wish you can share what came up in the rooms, but more what's alive for you would be very nice, however you wish.
Sure, thank you. Yes, I think it was nice to hear about expectations again. And in the room, there was a question, what if others have expectations from us? That is an important aspect of our lives. Someone gave the answer that it is a duty to play your part well. And if the part is set of a child, you want to play that part well, to have respect, to show understanding and care towards others. And that, I think, it's a high level of understanding and a high level of consciousness when you can play.
We suddenly lost you, Anna, so it's amazing how technology helps us learn to be stable when drama goes like this. Hopefully we are still connected though. And it'd be very nice to hear the end of what Joanna was going to share. It appears not to be on the call. So let's continue maybe for now, and we'll perhaps have Joanna back with us later. So Prashant, we have a few questions for you, but I don't know if you want to start with some reflection first.
Yeah, sure. The big attainment for us is to come to that new perspective. When we use the word soul, it is new and fresh. See, it is like a new beginning, new start. That's why language of true self means it is different to what we thought is I. That's why language of waking up is good. A minute earlier, he was not even there. Now he has woken up. And when anyone starts fresh and clean, there are no expectations, and it is easy to start in a completely different way. Thank you. Yeah, happy to take the questions.
So one question, if you are not a teacher and you lose everything you have and nothing is going well in your life and no one is listening to you, what should you do? Should you try to change the situation, still be a Brahmin, or be disappointed? I'm not sure if they're the three options, but you get perhaps a feel of the question.
Yes. First is, nothing in this story can ever belong to me, and nothing is mine. To start with, the position is this. the invisible traveler. He is amused by every scene of the drama. To play with this perspective, the invisible driver, the invisible actor knows that no one owns a single atom there. Someone thinks this is mine, it's just in delusion. Someone is so happy, others are nice to him, he's into delusion. So it is good that the part is such, it helps the soul to question the old attachments are created. And then he can experience this celestial lottery. There is a big lottery right in front of our nose. And this lottery includes the world of immortality and God. And so everyone should experience this first. That's why we use the word prince, because he has got this huge prize, eternal prize. Everyone needs to experience it. But many are deceived by the glitter of this temporary drama in a Cinderella club. They are deceived. So anyone is questioning what exists, they are lucky. Life continues, our actions continue. Whatever spiritual life, of course, why should I let go of spiritual life? It helps us connect to this, to conquer Maya and come out of that ignorance.
Yes, thank you. I hope that helps. Now, one question, what is the role of a director in a drama?
Sure. And a Baba, we see him as the director of this drama. He's a director for those who recognize him, and he's not a director for those who don't recognize him. Like if I understand this is a drama, and okay, then I want to follow the spiritual path, then we have the attitude that nothing in this drama matters really. If it is a drama, then I don't have some intense, yes and no. No, it is a drama. Whatever director tells me, happy to do that. And then the actor says, let me, I want to hear Baba as a director for me. I want to hear his directions, what action I should perform in different situations. Deeper inside, there is, you are easy. If the director tells you stand on the left, stand on the right, you are easy. It's a drama. And so you are happy to accept the directions from the Supreme Director. Also to know that Ravan also wants to be the director. Ravan has got lots of directions to give. And most people are following Ravan's directions. Except that Ravan has got 10 heads and there are 10 different directions that come. That is the confusion. So most people listen to the directions of the ego. So that is like they are following Ravan as a director. So it is wiser for us to stop Ravan being our director. And since we want to defeat Ravan, we want Ram to be our director. So if I see him as a director, he tells us, be the hero actors. In the past, I might be performing any kind of action, selling things and selling alcohol. But as a director, Baba says, no, now change your lifestyle. Come into different actions. You are a hero. You got a different part here. Life can be very simple. You choose a simple lifestyle. You don't have to complicate life so that you have to then earn livelihood in a complicated way. Choose a simple lifestyle, but stay with the director and be the hero actor.
Thank you. I think that's very clear. Any questions, just let us know. One question, how come this knowledge of spirituality is coming to souls at a certain stage in their life? When it comes to you, why doesn't it come earlier?
Yes, that question can, it is an eternal question, even earlier they can say, why it did not come even earlier, this kind of thing. It's still drama. And so we say, great, now we are here, let us move on. And Baba likes to remind us, the last can go fast. We are late, but the method is such, you can go fast. Not only fast, Baba says, come first also. Means, you can come in the first division. Those options are. And if someone wants to go in the first division, go fast, there is help. Baba is committed to this commitment.
Yes, thank you. And we could probably say that whatever age and why we didn't come in the last birth before. So yes, start where we are and make the understanding clear. Okay, another question. Supposing I'm driving a car and observing laws of the land, and then someone all of a sudden comes and bangs his car and causes me physical harm. How do we deal with the scene of drama for which I was not prepared for?
Yeah, all kinds of drama situations can come to us. One thing to know is at a immediate level, nothing happens to us without a reason. Our journey has been long, and there are past accounts, and so they all have to be settled. They can be coming from the past lives, and it is good. They are getting settled. That is the first positioning, and nothing happens without. There is no unfairness or injustice in this drama. And second, no harm can ever happen to the invisible actor. This is all in the script. There is a script. We said earlier, James Bond kicks your plate, all the food you prepared, he kicks. And you can handle it. If you can handle that, you can handle someone driving the car wrongly and hitting the car. That is a script.
I think this example is very deep and helpful reference point. When you were giving that example, there was a message which implied it was understood, but the feeling is that we don't always remember or realize at the time that it's a film. So we commented that we need to process this. It takes time to digest and develop this thinking. But then the comment back was, but Maya is also waiting for the opportunity to pull us down. So any comments on that? Because it's so clear,
Sure,
but we
sure.
need that support.
Yes, and we all need to do the homework. Applies to you, me. It is like a new way of seeing things. And more you practice, then it will become a new habit. as we mentioned at the beginning, here we are working at the root level. Superficially, there are lots of therapies and psychotherapies that help us to change our reactions and attitudes at a superficial level. But here, if you start seeing the film as a film, drama as a drama, and the soul seeing it, soul is the audience, detached observer, Sakshi, and he is absolutely beyond harm. So you are coming to this again and again, practicing it. When going is good, that is when we have to do the homework. The ordinary life, you are just walking, see the film during that time. You are eating, see the film at that time. Someone is nice, singing song. That is also, the whole thing is happening in a drama. And who is watching? The invisible actor watching. Right now, here Prashant is talking and the invisible soul is watching this drama and watching this film. So we have to play with it, and you lose it and play with it again. And if that homework is done, then we create a new instinct, new reactions. Even these expectations and all, they are coming from the past. At the right now we discussed, stop expectation. It cannot be done by a decision. It is not today say, I want to create expectation. No, suddenly you come into a situation and you realize that you are already getting a reaction based on something because you didn't even know that these expectations were created in the past. And what we do at that time? This is the time to observe, to say, okay, I did not know that this expectation was created here with a certain individual or certain situations or certain, and good. Once you have seen it, then you get strength to accept, and then it is solved for good. It's like, for example, you may create expectation with your uncle, then another kind of expectation with your one friend, another kind of expectation with your children. There are different expectations created at different level. We need to observe and become free from these individual knots. If superficially, we cannot say, I'm becoming free from expectation. That is not enough. That intention is good, but that is not enough. So over the next few weeks, it is like a nice opportunity to see how your inner reactions come and you process it and finish. And then you become free. Homework is an important aspect.
I think it might be habit from the path of devotion that we sort of tell ourselves, as you said, commandments and stick it on. There's a belief, but to process it and to apply it when the going is good, as you said. And the comment was, that was very clear. And the comment, subconscious mind creates expectations. It's like we want to replace those habits. Thank you. Perhaps one more question maybe here. Maybe it's a closing question as well. What is the best practice to keep ourselves unaffected by people around us, to stay in soul consciousness and constantly remember we are playing a role in the drama?
Yes, definitely. But the emphasis I'm placing is the soul remaining conscious. And when the soul is conscious, he doesn't say he's tolerating he finds the whole thing amusing. It becomes fun. Same thing, what is going on. But Laurel and Hardy drama. The moment you know it is a drama, it becomes amusing and fun. Silently you find entertainment. The whole thing is entertainment. If it is seen from the ego, even you know the knowledge, but still you are seeing it from Prashant kind of position, and then you will not find it amusing. You are tolerating. You are having knowledge and all, but you are still tolerating. And this is something we can experiment from today. In every situation, let the soul wake up, invisible observer watching this. Beautiful setup.
And does this stage finish our expectations?
The moment you see anything as a story, we don't create expectations in a story. During those seconds, minutes, you will find there are no expectations. When that attention is not there and old consciousness comes, ego comes, you will see the expectations coming. But they will continue to remain weaker because more you are practicing this higher consciousness, this all Ravan's reactions will become smaller and smaller.
So thank you. We managed to answer the questions. I think all of them in the chat. There was a couple of others which were like some details we can maybe answer personally. So do you have anything you'd like to share finally to round up this retreat? After that, we will be having a short drill, Bapdada's drill for meditation, and also sharing details in the chat about the retreat in 3 weeks, in 4 weeks' time, entitled World Benefactor. So maybe before that, Prashant would like to finish with some thoughts.
Yes, and I want to underline something we mentioned earlier. Every minute you are going in the right direction, congratulate yourself. And let there be this energy of appreciation, your own acknowledgement that it is going in the right direction. Appreciation, congratulations, play. We are playing with the ideas, celebration, and fun. Let going in the right way, but let it be the energy that is energy of celebration.
Yeah, that was very important for many of us, I think, at the beginning, this sustainable energy of lightness in the context of spirituality. It helps because we are made of light and meant to be light, so effort should also be light. So there are lots of appreciations, and also for all of you for the interaction and your presence and questions. And we'll be enjoying the drill together. So thank you, and we'll connect soon.
You want to show the world benefactor?
Yes, we put it in the chat, and then at the end we'll put the screen after the drill. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
एक सेकंड में मन की सा सेवा, दूसरे तरफ मन सा एक्सरसाइज। अभी अभी निराकारी, अभी अभी फरिश्ता, ब्रह्मा बाप आप फरिश्तों का आह्वान कर रहे हैं। फरिश्ता बन के ब्रह्मा बाप के साथ अपने घर निराकार रूप में चलना। फिर देवता बन जाना।